Baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you running my space, but I need space, but I need it.
Good morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are having a blessed day, and I want to say thank you for viewing my content. I want to say thank you to all that has subscribed to my channel. I hope you're liking what I'm doing on the channel. I hope you like the content that's been on there. I'm sorry that I've been kind of inactive for the last couple of days. I just, last month, I found out that my grandmother passed away. So I'm pretty much just on chill mode with my family and everyone here at home. She died in Jamaica, so I really didn't have the time. I shouldn't say the time. I couldn't go and see her because if I go to Jamaica, that means my husband and my child will have to go. And that just is too much that I have to do and get ready for. It's such a last minute notice. So again, I'm sorry for the, not being there in the MIA. I would say that I'm doing okay. I'm doing better after speaking to my aunt and speaking to my mother, who are there, might be on their way back. So on that being said, I want to thank you for 104 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you for all that you have done, for helping me be a better person on my channel, for being better, for just liking my content and giving me advice if you guys do give me advice. Today's video, I feel like it's much needed because everybody's going back to school and everybody's going back to school or going back to college or something of the sort about college. So because I have been to college and I've been to school for my, did my undergrad already, I feel like this would be an awesome video to give advice from where, I actually, went to school. I went to school at Liberty University. I went to LU. Don't get me wrong, LU has gotten a lot of bad press because of many reasons. Some of those bad press are completely valid, and some, I don't know. It's just from my experience going there. If I had to do it all over again, I don't know if I would have went to school or I probably would have just changed my major and I went to school for what I wanted to go for in the first place. Which after being there my junior year, I had switched to family and child development, but it was too late to be, I wanted to go for criminal justice. It was too late. So I had to finish my major out because I was a junior and I had transferred over. That's one thing when you realize that if you were going to a new college and if you're transferring, be aware of your credits and how much is transferring because the credits will also depend on how many credits will transfer. And then when you transfer over, depends on how that school is, it will eat at your financial aid. Your financial aid will deemed if you are a fifth year senior or stuff like that. Like the school I went to, I transferred from St. Augustine's College. I did 1 year there and I transferred out to Liberty University. St. Aug is an HBU school and Liberty, of course, is not. So when I transferred to LU, I had most of my prereqs and everything done because when I was at St. Aug, I was a political science major. And then when I transferred to Liberty, I was a pre-law major. So I changed my major already once. And I felt like, I wanted to be a family lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer. That was my dream thing from when I was a kid. If you ask my mom, she will tell you I wanted to be a family lawyer. And to be honest, about my junior year in college, I had an amazing teacher. She came, Mrs. Rickert. She came in and Dr. Rickert, and she talked about human trafficking. And that's been my passion. That's been my mark of the reason why I wanted to do criminal justice, but it was too late. So be advised of that. See if your credits, how much of your credits really do transfer and how much of it will affect your term at the school before you decided to change your major. That's one tip I will say. Pay attention to your credits to see how much will transfer, what will transfer, and what you're up against. Because depending on the school, you might have to write an appeal letter of why you should get more financial aid. why should you still be on financial aid? That's tip number one. Tip number two about going to college that I say, I would always say this. If you're going to, depends on what kind of dormitory. Like when I went to school first time at LU, they over flooded their school dorm life to the point that if you are a new student coming to LU, they pushed you on East Campus, which everybody know East Campus was the place to be because it had a kitchen, it had a washer dryer, it had everything you basically needed for an apartment style living, and the other campuses did not. They had a washer dryer, and I think that was about it. They didn't have anything else that you can do. So when it was for me, I wanted East Campus. I was lucky. I was paying the price to live on East Campus for living on one of their older dormitories. So I had the boast of both worlds for about 3 years, and then I moved off campus. 3 years and a half, I would say, and then I moved off campus. And if you're staying in a dormitory that has a kitchen, that has everything you need, like apartment living, make sure, I will say this, pots and pans. Get yourself some pots and pans. Do you need a shower caddy? I'll say still bring yourself a shower caddy so you can put it away. Put your stuff away so you won't be invading other personal stuff. I will also say be advised of your roommates, who your roommates are, who you're rooming with. You might have dorm meetups and stuff like that. I had a roommate that she was really OCD, and it was to the point that she cleaned every single day with bleach. Our bathroom was so clean that you can eat off the floor. That's how clean it was. You probably can eat out of the shower too. I wouldn't take it far as the toilet, but I know the shower and the floor was sparkling white. Was whiter than when we moved in. That's how clean she got it. And then I had another roommate that was, I would say, she was terrible, to me at least. I feel like she was not a good roommate. And then the last two roommates I have were pretty awesome. They were pretty good roommates, I think, until when politics started being involved. We weren't that getting along, but when we ended up being different roommates, we got along fine. And she became one of my good friends when I was in school. And then my other personal favorite, she was awesome. I remember her fear was spiders. It was hilarious. It was one of the girls that you will want to prank at Halloween. Because she's so small too. So that's why it was even more funner and hilarious. And she was also, check this out, she was also on my wedding. She was amazing. Shout outs to you, Toby. She was amazing. She was really good. Like, she was literally, I can say, one of the good friends that I actually met throughout my times at LU. She was awesome. One thing as well, take advantage of when you have meetups with your brother, sister dorm. If your school does that, take advantage of that. You get to meet people from all walks of life. I didn't take much advantage of that because I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like even though I was a black girl, I didn't fit in with everybody else. I felt like nobody really talked to me. And I felt like I didn't have a place. So I really didn't go hang out at brother sister dorms. Instead, I went to, I hanged out with other people that I found along the way that were, of my complexion. I hanged out with them. I was being there close to them, hanging out with them, going to the movies, going to different games and stuff that, your brother sister dorm wouldn't really go to. And probably this day, some of them I wish I would hang out with more because I don't talk to them as much, and then some I do. So that, what I would say, take advantage of that. And going back to living on campus, if you're living on campus, if you're living on the regular dorms where you don't have a stove, you don't have all that stuff, what you need to do is still buy food that you can prepare on campus in your dorm. Because sometimes when you oversleep and you had a long day of classes, you're going to miss that meal. You're going to miss that lunch that's in the cafeteria. If you miss that lunch, make sure you got yourself some mac and cheese bowls. Make sure you got some, if you can cook and you know what you're doing with a microwave, if you get some ready rice, you can make yourself some rice in the microwave. I stay ready. I have my ready rice. I remember living in the dorm and I know I wanted something to eat. I remember I made a bowl of rice in the microwave Because you can make a bowl of rice in the microwave. Everybody was like, ooh, what's that smell? It smells so good. That garlic rice. Ooh, that is good. Girl, I had the whole dorm smelling amazing with jasmine and masbeti rice. I had the place smelling good. You want to make sure you got food that you know how to cook in the dorms. Even if you got to buy microwave meals, put some in your refrigerator. Get a mini refrigerator. Get them in the mini refrigerator. They might be a little bit on sale now because back to school is starting. I know Walmart has them. That's where I bought mine. I bought a mini refrigerator when I was in dorms. When I stayed on the other side of, like the other dorms that weren't everything you need. I did that. And when I stayed on the dorm that had everything you need, I made sure I had the cheapest meal plan because if the dorm had everything I need, I made sure my refrigerator, like the refrigerator that I stayed in my dorms was stocked with what I needed, with what I ate. And I guess I didn't really have to worry about people eating my food that much because all the people in my dorms always went out to eat. Always. So nobody really ate my food. I didn't have to worry. Even if they didn't go out, I still didn't have to worry about them eating my food. If they did eat it, they would ask. And that's one thing I could say. I had some polite people in my dorms. I heard stories where people weren't polite and they would eat their food. And people had to put up signs for people not to eat their food. The one thing I can say I did not like about living on campus with the whole apartment style living at Liberty is that when you had convocation, you had to make sure your whole dorm is clean, spotless on the days you had convo. Now you got people that thank people their mamas and leave dishes in the sink. I personally say we got a dishwasher, rinse your dishes off, put them in a dishwasher. No big deal. Well, ones I've been in, they don't do that. They leave it, make you trying to do it yourself. I already said if you try me and put them in the dishes and don't clean your dishes, I'm not cleaning them. I will take the hit for the team because they do it every time somebody has to clean the dorms. They will leave their dishes piled high in that sink and don't clean them. Granted, they don't do it every other week. Like the rest during the week, they don't have no dishes in the sink. But the day you got convo, everybody want to pile the dishes up. And I remember one day somebody left their dishes in the sink with some hard oatmeal. Because you know when you don't put water in your pots or your pans or your cups, oatmeal gets hard and it's hard to clean. So my smart butt did. I went over to their door because I knew who it was, knocked on her door and gave her her container. Or better yet, before I started accusing anybody, I wanted to knock because there's 4 doors. I wanted to knock on everybody's door, see who it was. I said, is this yours? She said, yeah. I said, here you go. You can clean it. I'm not cleaning it. Well, you can get written up. Well, I guess I'm going to get written up. So I think I found a warning on my desk about it. And I told the RA, I said, I'm not cleaning nobody's dirty dishes that they had in there for 2-3 days. I said, I'm not doing it. Especially if you find out who it is and they refuse to clean their dishes. One thing, and that's another tip. You ain't nobody's mama. Don't try going around cleaning everybody's mess up. Don't do it. You're going to stress yourself out and you're going to make yourself feel like you did something wrong when it's not you. It's them. It's clearly them because they got no home training. Because some people are free. They're excited to be on campus. They're excited to be on school and they don't care. They don't care. So be advised of that. Make sure yourself you got, some dorms may have vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. I would say make sure you label your stuff because people's always giving it something to somebody to borrow. Have a good, if you got to get a vacuum cleaner, make sure you label it. Put your name on it so nobody will steal it or take it. Not saying they will do that, but people always borrow something, you never get it back. Just dorm life. You know, everybody borrows somebody's stuff. Put your name on your fabric softener. If they gotta wash or dry, make sure you put your name on your stuff. Make sure you have, when you go into classes and you look and your schedule and you got 3 to 4 classes together. I feel like I was the queen of snacks. I had, because I was stocked up on my stuff in my bag, because I had 3 classes, I always had 3 classes back to back. It never fails. Like, I'll have, the morning will be fine. And then right after combo, which is 10 o'clock to 11, my classes will all be back to back. So for lunch, I already have my lunch in my backpack already made. And then I'll have my snacks throughout the rest of the day until dinner time. I'll have my snacks packed. And it depends on what class it is. And depends on how much attention I really need to pay, I will go to the back of the class or go to like the middle of the class so I can still see the board and still pay attention to hear the teacher. Look, I'll pull out my snacks on my desk. I'll be eating. I have my drink sitting there. I won't pull out a whole meal, but I'll put my little Ziploc bag. I'll be ready to snack. Or just before class starts, make sure I eat in the hallway. So teachers see me that I'm not late. I'm eating in the hallway. So you can't, teachers didn't allow food, eat in the hallway. I'll try to eat before you go. Usually I got like 30 minutes before class, depends on if they're in the same location. Like Liberty has a way of, when you schedule your classes, you will be one location on the other side, one location on the other side of town. And you'd be like, this is ridiculous. How the heck am I going to get to class and have food? Pack your snacks with you so you don't have to worry about. Another thing, when you're on campus, make sure you always got a buddy system. Make sure you got somebody you can walk with, especially if you got nighttime classes or you're at night. Make sure you have a buddy system. Buddy systems are so, so important, especially nowadays when human trafficking is going on and people are either getting their cars marked or people are watching you, especially you're on a camp. Depends on what kind of campus you are. Like I've been to a different campus. I've been to one in St. Aug. You have to still be careful, even though they don't let anybody in who's not a student. They got guards at the front door, at the front gates. Still be careful because when you get off that campus, people are watching you. People are seeing what you're doing. People are seeing who you hang out with. Be mindful of the company you keep, because the company you keep, people may judge you and think you're just like the company you keep. Because I remember when I went to school at St. Aug, I hanged out with these two girls that I've always hanged out with all the time. And I knew people thought I was like them, but I wasn't. I was the quiet type. I kept to myself. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I'm the type that, sorry, if you cross me the wrong way, yes, I may tell you about yourself. I was the quiet person, but I was only vocal when I needed to be. And I never came across that time when I had to be vocal. People thought I was just like them. And I'm like, no, I'm not like them. I'm nowhere near like them. Like, no, I ain't got time for that. Even though I didn't hang out with them as much because I noticed that people thought I was like them, I backed myself away from that because I don't want to be judged based on that. And even your surroundings, when you go out off campus, be careful of that too, because people are watching you and clocking your schedule. You may not pay attention to it, but beware of your surroundings. People will pay attention to your schedule and how often you leave, what time you leave. And if you start noticing that you're being clocked, you may need to change your routine up because you may be followed. And that's important because in this day and age, abducting women has become at a all-time high. And that's what's going on. And we need to be careful of that. Even on campus, as open as LU, abductions can happen. People don't really talk about it as much. But that's why at LU, it makes it a little bit, abductions can happen. But what you can also do is, if you're going to be going to school, classes are late time, and it's going to be late outside and you don't have a buddy, call the non-emergency LU 911 number. They have one of those on campus where you can call that number. See if your school has one, a non-emergency 911, so you can get escorted by the police, by the campus security. And they will take you home. They'll give you a ride home in their police car. You didn't do nothing wrong. It just keeps you safe and you don't have to worry about people harming you or people trying to kidnap you or something to that effect. Can happen to you on campus regardless of how open and closed your campus is. It can happen anywhere. Can't say it won't happen to me. I'm good. I'm safe. Yada, yada, yada. Girl, it can happen to anybody. Have it happen to me. When I used to work late nights, I used to be followed a lot. I used to notice being followed. So I start changing up the time I leave home, what time I went to work, and stuff like that. Did it happen on campus? No, because for me, I didn't have late schedules. I didn't pick anything that was 9 to 8. I didn't pick any late classes. When I mean late, I mean they have a 3-hour class. I didn't pick none of that. I wasn't the type of person who's going to sit there for 3 hours listening to a lecture. Sorry. And the teachers I picked wasn't doing that neither. So I was like, oh, that's even better. If I hanged out late, I made sure I was with a group of friends. I was with somebody. Because if you're not with somebody, I'm just saying, it can make your life a lot easier when you're with a group of people instead of by yourself and you'd be like, okay. You gotta still be aware of your surroundings because it can happen. And if you're like me, I had a can of mace and I had a knife. And when I mean a knife, make sure in your state how legal, what size, this type of knife it is. Like, I know in the state of Virginia, you can have a 3-inch blade. A 3-inch blade you can carry on you that's not considered illegal. When I mean 3 inches, I'm gonna get my blade for you to show you. I carry my 3-inch blade. I've had this since college. This is who was it by. They sell it in sporting goods. Let me see if I can open this thing because it was a pain butt when I used to open it. This is how big the knife is. You see that? I can still do a lot of damage. You know, it's pretty old and dirty right now. It's still pretty sharp. So I didn't open it up all the way. But yeah, you know, you gotta protect yourself at all costs because it's crazy out there. My next tip too is if you're staying in a let's say you're not staying in where you have your own bathroom, you get a share bathroom. Okay, make sure you bring your shower caddy. Make sure you have a shower caddy. They're pretty. I remember last time we looked at Walmart, they weren't that affordable, but you can find some decent shower caddies for a reasonable price that you like, that are cute, that you can say that's yours, that you can mark your name on it. Make sure you have your shower caddy with all your things for the bathroom. So you're not running to the bathroom naked trying to get what you need because you forgot something. And also make sure you can have your own personal business, everything together. Just keep yourself more organized. And as well, for females, I have run into this problem at my old school, and I run into this problem at the school that I was at. Females, if you're going to take your tampons out, make sure you put them in the trash. Do not leave them in the shower. Do not leave your tampon in the shower. Do not leave your pad in the shower. Take that and put it in the trash. I don't know if it's the new ones or the old. I don't know who's doing it. When y'all do that kind of stuff, that's nasty. And y'all be looking out here looking cute in the streets, but be nasty. And what I mean by nasty and looking, I'm busted. Like, you be looking cute. Like, I remember I was at HBU school, and this girl was always pretty. Like, when I hanged out with her all the time, I was dressed to the nine. I was pretty. I was dressed 9. I was dressed up all day, every day, and she was too. And, you know, we both got attention from guys, which didn't matter to me. I didn't really care. People say, oh, female schools. I didn't care. You can like me or not. I didn't care. And I still am that way. I'm married. I don't care. I'm quick to show my ring. Anyways, so yeah, cute, everything. But when she was my roommate, but like, you know, she ain't this and that. They talk mess about me and they say, oh, she cute. I said, okay. So one time we had a party, and I guess I had to grab something in my room, and I was still in my room, and I felt like I wasn't going to go. I stayed in there. She had her friends come up here. They looked at her room like, girl, wait, what side is your side? Which one is her side? I bet this nice, clean side is your side. I be like, no, this is my side. That's her side. That thing was nasty. When I say nasty, you had lumps of hair, like clumps of hair on the floor, her nappy hair pieces all over the floor. It was nasty. Trash can overflowing. Like, she didn't keep her side of the room clean at all. Like, my side was clean, spotless. You couldn't find a hair on the floor. You couldn't find nothing. Spotless. My desk, spotless. What? Her side looking, hot mess. And then the dormitory as itself, people were nasty and trifling. So, and that's at both my schools. So I can't even say that's at one particular school. That was at the HBU school, and it was at my Liberty school. Females, make sure you clean up after yourself. Ain't nobody your mama when you go to school. Clean up after yourself. You feel me? You feel me? So, and the same thing for men. Make sure when you go on that campus and you say, ooh, boo, 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 make sure she just talking to you and not Tom, Larry, and John. Make sure she ain't talking to the whole school. Make sure she ain't fast. And she ain't no groupie for the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you wrap it up when you on that campus and you don't get no girl pregnant on campus. I've seen it at my HBU school. It was to the point the basketball and the football team had this thing, what they call it, the peephole. And whoever's on the totem pole, like, you know, is really, really fast. She up there on the scale. And they will use that to go try to go talk to the girl, smooth talk her so they can get some. Ridiculous. Why? Why? Because you getting all that for some dude and then realize he ain't going nowhere with his career. He's just a guy that got in with scholarships and bad grades. Let that sink in. Right. And then at my old school, at my other school, you didn't hear much about it too much, but I knew it was around it, because people were still being hoes, still being fast, so it's there, but you didn't really hear much about it as I was at my old school. So be advised and be aware of what's going on, because man, it's ridiculous. Another thing I want to say as well, I would say when you first go to school and it's your first new school and everything, make sure what I did when I first got to campus, so when I got to Liberty's campus and when I got to my HBU school campus, the day before school actually started, I actually tried to map out where all my classes, so I wouldn't be confused. Because the worst thing in the world is you have a school full of kids, students, and you get so confused and you try to ask people where to go and nobody will help you. I've been there, done that, and the most helpful people were some people in the advisor office, and you might find some people that's willing to show you where to go. Just make sure you map it out before you go. Make sure you find your classes beforehand. Sometimes that helps. I know for me, that kind of helps because I'm a visual person, so if I go try to find a class, I might find it, and then I might forget. Because I am ADHD, so I might forget, but like, okay, I remember it's there, but dang. You're like, dang, I forgot where it was. So that can happen too. Sorry, y'all, my allergies is killing me, and it's raining outside too. My allergies gonna be off the walls. Off the walls. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to help you guys be really mindful of. Out there. I will just say, be so careful out there. Be mindful of your surroundings. Please do. Just because it's a college campus don't mean nothing. Be mindful of it. Be careful of the parties and stuff like that. I know when I first went to campus back at St. Aug, I never partied, never went to a club a day in my life. And I remember I went to my first club. I was so turned off because of the fighting. I'm not for it. I'm like, why y'all fighting in a club? What's the purpose? And it's all because of one song. And if you are an 80s kid, 90s kid, you might not knuck a few buck. That is the ultimate fight song, I would say, growing up in New York. Or growing up anywhere. If you know the song, you know what I'm saying. So I would say that. And then my HBU school, I say, well, I'm not doing the club scene. I'd rather do the party scenes because they always party outside. If you got fraternities and stuff, they party when they stoops. And I was friends with people that were in sororities and fraternities. So I was like, why am I going to go all the way there, pay money, when I could just party for free? And free food. Because people were always grilling. So the food was on point. What? Better than cafeteria food. I'll just take that, you know what I'm saying? I'll say still, when you go to clubs, be mindful of that. Because not everybody's your friend. Everybody will use you and pretend to be your friend. I had to deal with that, about friendships like that, where people just use you and use you and use you to gain their own benefit. And I already had someone like that. And now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? If I see your behavior, I will give your behavior, I'll give you time. Probably you busy, but then if you're still busy and I'm willing and I'm go out of my way to say how you're doing, how's everything going with you, and knowing that I'm busy too, you need to do yourself a favor and check on your friend, because you don't know how your friend's going. Just because they don't say nothing don't mean they're fine. Check on your peoples. Check on your friends. I'm going to say that. That's my little rant at the end. I just want to say again, you college students out there or going to college, be safe. Please be safe. Be mindful of your surroundings. Be aware that you don't have to pay the expensive package to eat on campus, because that food is not always banging. That food would be gross sometimes. And when I say gross, I mean it was so gross. The only thing I ate was chicken patties. And I took that chicken patty, didn't eat the bread. I made a salad out of the dang old chicken patty. Like, I didn't gain the freshman 15. I probably lost a good 15 pounds living on campus, because I wasn't always in the East Campus dormitory. Because when I wasn't on East Campus dormitory, that means I couldn't cook my own meals. That means I had to be in the campus cafeteria, and that food sucked. The only thing that was banging was like the healthier food options and probably the Chinese section and then the pizza. Fast forward to all these years. The food is a lot better, a lot more choices. And they got Chick-fil-A. What? They don't got Chick-fil-A when I was going to school. They done changed the game. We had sub connection, but still, it wasn't that great. If it was now, I probably would have gained 15 pounds if I went back to that campus, but it ain't for me. So I'm still in college right now. I'm online. So that's all I'm going to leave with you guys for prepping for going back to college, or if you're going to college. Those are my advice, just to you, to be advised, to be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of people you hang out, the company you keep. People don't believe the company you keep. People will associate you by. It happens. It happens all the time. And be mindful when you do other things on campus, like you do other things, on campus, or what you do on campus, because people are watching. People are watching so much so if you keep a track of what you do every day, people will know exactly what you do. Like I know I went to the gym every day was my thing when I went to campus. That's probably another reason why I didn't really gain that 15 pounds. I went to the gym every other day because I had a gym on campus. And once you have access, when you're a student, you have access to the gym, but not as a transfer, but as a online student. You have access if you're on a campus. You have access to everything. Everything is discounted. Everything is pretty much kind of free, but not really. If you feel me. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I want to say again, thank you for 103. Big ups to y'all because you guys make this happen. And if you listened all the way through, even through my little rant about friendship, look, I want to say thank you for listening. And if you've been listening, I said a key word, like I said, I will do. I said it in one of my goal video. I haven't posted it yet, but the keyword has been said probably only twice, and forget about the damn old keyword. I'll have to do where it's more noticeable, and it's just not me just going off, feel like I'm going off on a tangent. But anyways, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here and watching this content this far. It is for you guys. I got 104 subscribers. Help me get to 200. My goal is to be at 500. Help me out and show this video out to everybody who's either going back to school, who are interested to know if you live on campus or off campus, or even just starting campus. Go ahead and share and like this video and subscribe to this video. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. You won't be. We got more content coming up. We about to kick it up a notch. We got some more coming your way. We about to drop a video today. You know what? We about to keep it moving. This is about to be my video number 3. We about to do 3 videos, hopefully a week if possible. We about to do it big up in here. What's wagwan? We got this. Whoop, whoop. See, y'all can't be too loud or baby gonna wake up. Deuces.